Stay back! My father taught me to never lose my head in battle.
Really? That's a kind of advice that can get you ahead. Mordhau is the online multiplayer medieval combat game with several modes like deathmatch, frontline, horde, skirmish, sword game, and team deathmatch.
There is really no story because this is about jumping into massive battles and slashing the heck out of everything you see. The most popular mode on those lines is Frontline, which is a 64-player team deathmatch where two teams go up against each other and try to take over checkpoints and push the other team back to their spawn point.
And once you unlock level 3, you're gonna unlock a new mode, Horde, which is one up to several players fighting against hordes of AI enemies. In between there are waves, and in between you buy new weapons to progress.
This might be a good way to practice your skills because if you're just getting into the game now, you're going to meet players who have been playing it for quite a while and there is a serious skill gap. But we'll talk more about that in a second. There are 16 different maps with some different variations of each one, and over a wide range of landscapes from forest to snowy mountains, tree forts, Robin Hood type stuff to ruined castles, desert fortresses, lots and lots of variety for where you're playing and for different play styles.
And all of this you can play online, and only training and horde game you can play offline, so solo to practice as well.
Although you have to be prepared for just a lot of gory hack and slash combat, this game does try to help you find your own playstyle. There is a lot of variation, starting with the 9 different types of soldiers that you can choose. What you would expect, everything from the heavy knight to the quick striking raider to the archer, and like every type in between.
And this is a realistic medieval game, so no fantasy, no spells, and even such a realistic swing of the sword and long range weapon as well.
The combat is really the core of this game, and it tries to be as intricate and as deep as possible. There are 4 basic moves in melee combat. There is, of course, stab, strike, feint, and block. But when you add in the fact that you can target different parts of people's bodies to focus their unguarded legs, to go for a headshot, and to try to block exactly the direction that their blade is coming from, this means combat is extremely fast-paced, skill-based, and if you get it right, very satisfying. If you get it wrong, well, you just try again.
And the maps are full of interesting things. Some of the maps have horses, some of them there's rocks that you can throw at enemies or cannons.
And speaking of cannons, well, speaking about everything in this game, as we said, be prepared to die a lot, especially at the very beginning. You're often matched with players of a much higher skill base, so you might die like as soon as you see an enemy, or you might not even see them before you die.
But everything is so fast-paced because there's no time out, you just respawn right away.
So you just keep trying until you get better, and to practice you can try that horde mode. There is also a duel mode to go up against just one player to practice your moves until you're ready for the big field of battle once again.
So knights, are you ready to... should you play it?
Yes, we are! But first, you should know that this game is going to be completely free from the Epic Games Store the week starting April 13th, 2023. You'll have a week to add it to your Epic Games library. Keep it as long as you want and install it whenever. And that is what we do on this channel. We play and review every free weekly game from the Epic Games Store. So subscribe so you never have to be bored ever again.
I like how this game is easy to pick up and so immersive because it's first-person game. It gets you this extra layer of immerse, and when you get killed, you really feel the hit because the limbs can be cut out, even the head can spin, and you see everything first-person. That's really cool, and the swinging is so realistic that if you ride a horse, accidentally even can hit your horse. There's some funny moments that should not be so funny because it's gory a lot. So, but somehow it's funny as well. It's fun in a general, and I think that the game should be. We were thinking not many people are playing this game. That's why the game is going to be free. But we found out later there's a lot of servers. So I think for a good reason. This is a great game and I can definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that I would criticize about it. I mean, it has almost all of the play has to be online. If you're a solo gamer, which we both are more, so it's surprising that we enjoyed this as much as we did. There's not a lot of solo play content. There's no story mode. Just kind of a shame because
just maps.
It's just maps to like have massive teams of medieval warriors bash up against each other. And it does that extremely well. I feel like you can play it kind of as an amateur player, and if you don't mind dying a lot, you can still have fun, or get really deep into the combat and try to become a sword master who can just duel any opponent to death. So there's a lot of different layers that you could play it on. The graphics are beautiful. It's pretty well optimized. It's fast-paced. And I since I love the medieval period, also like
I do too.
Experiencing what a medieval battle might have really felt like, plus smoke bombs and a few extra things. I can only recommend this, and I'm excited to see the player base increase when it's free from Epic Games, and with a lot more noobs there, so that maybe all of us have a bit more chance to be a hero at least once per game. And if you like really realistic historical medieval games, it's quite different, but we also reviewed Kingdom Come Deliverance, which we got from Epic Games for free a few years ago. Also extremely realistic, historical, no magic. It is basically like living in medieval times.
It is basically if you like this game, but single player only. That's it.
And with a lot more besides the combat, like all the living stuff. So we have that review up here somewhere, like click on that next. And if you like free games, stay right here. We will make sure you stay informed about all of them.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.